up.
Oh, okay, this is the same thing for it. Now as you grab here, you can push it, keep the gun straight to the center. Now, this is high, down low. Grab, still there, good. Don't let him just pull that arm.
Going like that.
Lots of the hands.
Gotcha.
Now, if I turn this way, you come down there, right through here. I'm got bad position. So put here, just go right up the arm. Boom.
What are some
Make sure you don't.
Or come back to this side. Do one more time.
And check your belt. I don't want you to bust up the wall, but as your partner grabs you, what do I want you to do? As soon as he hits you, you're pushing back in. Because even if the gun comes out this close, I want you to see what starts happening to his elbow. See what his elbow starts doing, trying to get the gun out? He starts to pull his elbow back. See what it ran into? It gives me a chance to get a hold of the barrel. So you're pushing. What else can I incorporate here? You can probably see it already. Headbutt. So first I'm hitting him low, hip to the, like boom, then it's bam, strip, leave him there, and get the gun working. Okay, you can still use elbows and stuff, but this is your side to shoot. So try it slowly on this side.
One thing before you guys go. Out of this, when I strip this gun through and connect them, a lot of you are missing your target because you're coming way out here and trying to shoot at this angle. If I put it just like I'm putting it back in my holster and I keep it tight to my body, look where it goes almost every time.
No!
So no matter, even if we're out here fighting, I've just stripped it. If I come my way out here, look at the chances of me getting him coming back through and grabbing hold of my hand. I'm gonna keep it as tight to my body as possible. It goes just like it's going right back into my holster, so it's staying tight. Look where almost all these goes ends up. Okay? Keep it tight to your body. Don't start swinging it around, trying to get into this position. I'm gonna keep it tight as possible. Boom, 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 boom. All right?
Oh, look here. Hey there. Oh, he's going for it.
I think you're giving me too much room.
Wasn't he supposed to hold that or you just got your quick shot?
Don't point it at yourself. Don't point it at yourself.
Hey, this is pretty good. This is rad. No, yeah, you can. Don't headbutt him too hard though. Yeah. I can see that one coming.
Oh, I was looking for it. I couldn't find it.
We want to keep the gun in our holster, but I like to start out with worst case scenario first and work from there. So as Gary comes up again, I'm covering and I'm locking, right? If you go here initially, if you want to do two hands, use the same technique, but start looking for the avenues of the fingers here. This is designed primarily for the person that's really locking you up tight, where they're either grabbing your arms or they're grabbing you to the chokehold, to where now I have basically one-hand defense. Okay, so I'm here first. This buys me just maybe a second and a half to evaluate the finger situation. So we look at primary target would be index finger first, and then little finger second. Okay, that's the priority of order. Now, as I come here, I'm just trying to feel if there's anything right here. If there's anything along the holster, that's what I'm going to grab. As I sweep it, okay, I'm going from this position, and I'm sweeping the finger. Now be careful with this one, because we used to just teach, just bring the finger out here. Now we're bringing the finger straight sideways. That means you're bending the joint this way, which makes it come off the gun relatively quick. So as I sweep it here, see where I'm locking it, and I bring it out. As soon as I bring it out and pull it out, I have to look to make sure what? That the gun's not in there, because we're going back to another technique. So as I bring it off here and I pry it out, okay, see where my elbow's on the outside here? It's going to quickly transition from the outside to the inside. So I'm here, it goes outside, inside, and I'm just going to duck right under here and grab onto this. It looks silly, but someone that hasn't seen the technique, you'll say, come up and grab me, and you'll get them so quick they'll go, what happened? right? Because you're into the position and you lock them. Again, once you get to this position, you don't let go, because I'm shooting behind the arm. So as he turns in, I'm keeping this under and I'm just shooting behind, okay? Just lining up along the upper body. So try to avoid pushing off. If you have a good palm forward, it'll work. If you don't have a good palm forward, you can still fight out of it, but it's just another position. So here, I'm pushing, I feel the finger first, I grab it, pry it off, I look. From right here, this seems to be the toughest spot. This foot steps behind. I've seen some real unusual techniques, and I'm sure you'll have some more for me today. But as I come out, look where that hand's right there. If you just want to take them down, just bend the finger towards the ceiling, and they're going to go flat. Right here, you just bend it straight down, they're going to go straight to the ground. If you're going to shoot here, right? Or if you want to take them down, it's your choice at that point. But don't give up the position you have. Let's just try that first, and we'll come back and we'll add the other finger to it. When you grab them, try to hold on to them when they do the fingers. Try to hold on to them in the gun. As they try to hold on to them. Okay, grab around there. Hold on to them. Now slowly go under, duck under. You feel that quick? Oh, underneath. Other way. Here. So as you go back to the grab. Okay, you're here. Sweeping the finger this way. Just like you're stepping.
For this training, I mean, the elbow.
You're bringing it right
Instead of here, you put it right there. See, this is if you do it here, you need to keep the wrist as straight as possible. You let this bend, it gives him some flex, but if you keep it straight, that's why I go here, because it helps keep that wrist straight. Minor
carotid on you. Let him get it in place before you do it. Okay, let him get it and start it, and then work from there, work it on. Okay, remember, push back into him though. Push back into him. Good.
Oh, that's not choking. That's choking.
Also, don't move forward so far. Push back, no, push back into him with your hips like towards the wall. Now, when you get it, watch how easy it is to step underneath. See, you're just coming underneath his arm. So if you can find a wall, that's fine, but practice this. Put two fingers on the outside of the holster, just for safety margins. Good teaching is to put two fingers, it's like a splint. Because all my fingers have been just...
So when I stepped around, I just took my weight out of it.
Okay, elbow inside. We're going to add one more to the same technique to where they grab, and lo and behold, the person's grabbing around with all fingers around the butt of the gun. We found this to be almost somewhat rare, because it seems to be something natural about grabbing and the fingers just there. I think it's getting all your hand on the butt of the gun. But even when we've had civilians in class, they tend to grab and the fingers along the sides. I don't know why. So, but we want to train for the worst case scenario. Now there's no finger hanging down. So again, I'm going here and I feel him pulling me back. I'm still pushing, but from the same position, see where his little pinky finger's here, there's two ways you can do it. You can either just sweep the finger out and pull it out like this. That's pretty easy. Depends on the length of your hand where it's at on the butt of the gun. But I can sweep it out, I can bend it this way, I can bend it this way. But primarily, in this one, you're going to basically a wrist, I guess it's the old academy wrist lock, I guess is where it would be right here. What's it called?
U-hold.
Huh?
U-hold.
Straight wrist lock.
Yeah, what a crap. Huh? Yeah, it's both thumbs on back of hand. Yeah, I just made a name for it.
Where's
So
Bob
here-
when you need him?
What's that? Straight arm bar with wrist lock? Okay, we're going to use that one because that's better. Okay, so I can either grab this way and pull it out, but if the person has their fingers really tight on there, you may not be able to get the pinky. So I'm taking my fingers and I'm jamming in between the crease of the little fingers right here. I'm leaving this finger bent. So as I get it in between, this is the quickest way to get it off. I now turn it sideways while it's bent. So I pry my fingers in between, and now I'm cranking it sideways, and it hurts right away, so don't do it real quick. So in the holster, it's kind of hard to see, that's why we're doing this. So as I bring it around here, look how it lines my fingers up to dig it in there, and now I'm prying it sideways. Once you pry it so far, the hand starts to come off. I still have to look to make sure the gun's not there. This one I have to pivot out of though, right? Or I could do what? If I didn't want to pivot, what could I do?
Move in.
I could trap and draw, right? That's the other option where I trap here and draw and shoot. Or bring it out here, take it to the ground. Okay, I would add, this is where you start adding your strikes along with everything else. But primary is keep the gun in your holster, work it to where you can get your hands off. It's your decision because you may be face against the wall and the person won't allow you to spin out, but as long as you get the hand off first, right, and now I can start working here. So he's now worrying about getting the gun. And I'm just going to start lighting it up here, all right? Try not to expose the gun completely. If you can look at your backstop, you know, do it. All right, so try this one slowly. This finger doesn't go that way real quick.
And they end up looking like that when people torque them out.
So fingers in between, give it a little twist, or just pry it off straight. All right.
I would have kicked you in the face.
Nobody likes it. Unless I switch. Yeah, I know. So,
Tactical training. Remember, anyone else do anything else back with this position if they have a hook here or they have a hook there? And then it becomes like the bear hug behind you. So we're taking it from the tail end of that. If you can do anything to get out of the position before that, of course, that's what you should do. But you don't want it to be the first time they're behind you going, oh, this sucks. Yeah, they could. Anyway, so how about let's do a from the front attack.
very surprising.
Very surprising. Okay, so we have a front attack. Let's go with, we'll do single hand first, and then we'll go to two hand. So depending on where you're at, sometimes you're trying to keep the person away, and all of a sudden, boom, one hand or the other ends up going on your gun. All right, so in this position, a lot of people will just try to push away. Once they're this close and they have their hand on their gun, pushing them away or trying to get their hand off, depending on the level of your holster, can help what? Help to pull the gun out. So all of a sudden, if I try to push him away and he exits with my gun, that would generally be bad. So, now, can I strike here? Okay, how much and how often?
As long as you can control his
Okay,
arms
now-
if it's on your gun.
Now that's the catch. I can strike, but I can't strike at the, expense of keeping this gun in my holster. And again, if I go back to that person that's mental or that's high on something and I can hit them as many times as I want and it doesn't incapacitate them, their whole world may be getting this gun out of the holster. So then we have to start thinking mechanics. So from a cross-hand position here, I want to first control the elbow. Okay, as silly as it sounds, the elbow can keep the gun from coming out of the holster. Just as he starts pulling, see where he's trying to pull the gun out? This starts to keep him tracked to me here. Next, I will go to hand here. The key to this is that once they start to engage, I'm going to try to run behind him. That's where a lot of people, they're here, the gun's coming out, and I'm still fighting this position. By moving with it though, see how his elbow bent? I want to keep the elbow bent because it helps the technique. So as he's pulling here, right where he ends up, that's fine. Because my hand's starting to block his hand, and what you can't see is that I'm going to sweep his thumb here off the gun. So this is okay, so this is what's happening while it's in the holster. My hand's on top of the gun protecting it, and my fingers here, you notice I'm not grabbing, okay? I'm sweeping this out here because it's going to help to grab his thumb off. When I grab the thumb with these little fingers, I'm keeping it bent, and I'm going to just pull it up like this. So his thumb's actually going to bend this direction, which it's not supposed to. So as soon as it comes out, that's when I'm going to strip the hand off the gun. So he's here, and as he's pulling, see how I'm leaning into it, and I grab his thumb up. Once I go to this position, I'm sweeping, right? It opens the hand straight to this position, but I want to get it away from that hand real quick. So again, this could be where he's pulling here, and now he's pulling up. I get it off. The thumb's probably going to go bye-bye, but I'm just going to pop off and pull. Now as I come out, there's two positions you go to. Either control the arm, or as soon as it comes off the gun, grab the little fingers this way and this way. Okay? Because now I have opposing fingers, where this is bending this way and that's bending that way. Right? Which makes it very hard. You can hold them there for a while or take them down or break it. Okay? So right here, this is a pretty good position. But it comes right off of the strip. Once it comes out, see where I grab the fingers right as they came off the gun. If you're going to shoot or disengage, just get rid of the fingers. Or if you want to get rid of the elbow, over the top, dislocate elbow and fingers. Because that's a danger right there. That's what's going to get your gun to pull the trigger. All right, so when your partner comes in and grabs, right here, boom. As soon as you feel the pull, you're going right with the pull and the elbow trap. See how I'm getting shoulder to shoulder? Because I'm actually almost trying to block that other hand by getting it hip to hip. So as soon as it comes out here, I either break it or grab, then I can go to the shoot position. But don't let them re-grab on the gun. So if you're going to break or dislocate the fingers, but not today. All right, grab your partner.
Go slow with
We're gonna-
this
Fingers are grabbing right here on my way.
This is the way I'm.
Pushing down like that, and bring your looking and you're doing it that way. I'm sorry.
Right, as soon as you grab
Put your elbow and go shoulder to shoulder right here. Now see where you're starting to lift.
Okay, now, push down with that part of your hand, pull it off. Okay, put your hips out of the way, grab the lower fingers, right here, grab those fingers, and grab these. So this one goes that way and that goes that way. Okay, it starts to lock them up.
Yeah.
If you have the Harbinger gloves, the little padded knuckle ones, you can do them and they protect your fingers from getting tore up real bad. It has that little safety margin built in.
You notice he said real bad.
Yeah, real bad. It's still, you'll still get it.
Also, if you're doing a lot of fingers and you're specifically training fingers, just take some tape and put them around and loop your fingers together. So when you're practicing, they can only get they get two fingers together. It's kind of the splint they use when you've injured them in judo and stuff. So as you're practicing, I don't have figured out anything for the thumbs yet. You know, just duct tape them to your hands so you can't do anything with them. All right, we're going to go to same side grab. Now again, you're seeing a common theme here. If you can strike and get the person to do anything else to keep them from getting on here, you'll use those same techniques. We're talking about now that we're almost in this position here, and he's getting close, and I'm going, okay, now we're getting real close. In this case, if he grabs this hand, I guarantee you this hand's going to be probably doing what? Punching you in the head. Okay, so with this one, it's critical that even if I'm trying to keep him like this, he's going to be punching me. So I'm diving to this side with my head, and I'm going right to the elbow. This blocks that hand from getting involved. But see how my elbow's kind of like this? So this allows me to keep it tight, but it also helps prevent the person from going around behind you. Okay, so as he's moving, see where my elbow's up. And the more he pulls, the more I step right beside him. Foot trap. Now, what do we see here? It's a common thing. We see fingers, right? Any way you can pry those fingers off is fine. From here, all I'm usually doing is just sweeping around to the index finger. And this one, when you pry it off, don't let go of the elbow because we're going to a secondary shoot position. So, again, a nice big index finger. We pull that baby off. Now, watch how he starts to pull here. I check that the gun's not there. I will buckle my hips away for just a second as I sweep this behind. And I'm going to this is what we call the tactical do-si-do or square dancing, because I'm going to stay here and I'm going to shoot from right behind the elbow. Okay? So as I draw, I want to draw high and I'm going to shoot right along here. And when your partner gets to this position, see if you can spin and catch him, because that tells you how well you're doing. So if I come in here and strip it, he's trying to get around behind, I'm right here. Okay, I'm spinning with him. Don't resist it. Just move with it enough to where you can start getting to the legs. Okay, I'm just moving around. Be prepared. If he goes down, okay, on the ground, then I would go ahead and move away. But again, if I'm here and I strip him off and I've done a real good job and I do this, what's going to happen right at this point? He's probably going to try to come back and either tie me up or grab my gun as I draw it. Okay? Okay, so try this one. Remember, it's index finger. I have seen a couple, this works pretty good, although it's painful, that they just grab the thumb over the top and just, once they clear it, they just push it with the palm of their hand and it takes the thumb right over the top. Don't do it real fast because it will dislocate. But again, even if you do it this way, I want to still swing it across, get a good base, stay behind it. Right? Even if he gets it here, if he grabs the gun here, I'm still in a lot better shape. Oh, there's that thumb again, darn it. Right here than I was just a second ago. So don't forget the basic techniques. All right, this is the same side. Let your partner try to slap you a little bit as you're here, right? Because if you're doing this, see how I'm losing my balance? Get to the side here. I'm working it. Feel him coming behind me. We're going to work it in here. If I push this against him in the side, would it shoot? Okay, I want you to place a bet. If you think the gun will shoot, raise your hand.
Is it a revolver or a semi-auto?
It's a Glock. It's a standard Glock.
If you work that case file.
It's a standard Glock. And I'm going to push it in his ribs. How many say that it won't shoot? Okay, we're going to do a little demonstration after lunch with Sims. Okay, because I was preaching that if you push your gun on the person, it will go out of battery. But most demonstrations, when you do that, you know how they demonstrate it? On their hand. How is the hand different from the body?
A lot firmer.
And the way I found out is I took my regular Glock, unloaded it first, and I did this. I go, well, shoot. Then I went click. It went click, and I go, wait a minute. Click. Wait a minute. Click. Wait a minute. I'm going, hey, it's supposed to go out of battery. It wasn't going out of battery like I thought it would. Now, would it go out of here? Probably, because it's harder. So, what's that? I couldn't hear you, sir. Can you turn up your hearing aid?
You said your hair looked nice.
Thanks, appreciate it. So, again, because a lot of times I tell them, if you push it in here, I would say 9 times out of 10, it's probably going to shoot. With a revolver, probably 6 out of 6. Hey, it didn't go out of battery. Well, that's because you got a revolver. But when we do the Sims gun, we're going to do some brace contact shooting with the Sim guns after lunch, and you will see that if you push it on your hand, it probably is not going to shoot. If you push it on your stomach and pull the trigger, you're going to get an owie. So we'll play.
The Army used to teach that with the 45, that if you push it in here, a lot of the AIs would demonstrate that. And they had a number of medical retirements for disfigured hands because it was proved that that doesn't necessarily put it out of battery, so that was no longer an improved training method.
All right, same side. Good.
Just a teaching point, the Department of Justice indicated that of all the weapons taken away from officers, 80% of them had head injury. So just like they were saying, you're probably going to be getting hit in the head when somebody's trying to take your weapon.
And that's why the duck to the side and bury your ear there is critical to keep them from getting that, I'm really dizzy type feeling. Because if their intention is to grab you, punch you, and then go for your gun, at least you're getting out of that kill zone long enough to protect your head.
You can get all the DOJ stats on all the kills right off the website. It's unbelievable. You can get a stat on the craziest thing you think of.
Yeah, it's all there.
And most officers, I should have mentioned this during the falls, more officers fall front, back, or side. What do you think? Side. Most fall to the side. Why? Because most of the time if you're falling, you're trying to what? You're trying to catch yourself. So you're trying to get yourself recentered, and that was actually a surprise to me. Okay, same side grab, hook the elbow, duck the head out to the side. Trapping, going for the index finger. Now, start pulling on it. So it's important that you get that tension.
Yeah.
Now, you had it. Like this, yeah, you stick my fingers between it. Now keep it tight. Keep this one, go back to where you're at, right here. Now keep this, instead of doing this, cup right here. And you'll find that he can't get back around. Okay, see how it locks it? There. So, see, it's not going. But if I just almost there, it will shoot. The brace contact position is basically wrapping your knuckles to where these fingers don't extend past the barrel. And the technique itself was developed to drive into a person where you can stick it anywhere on their body and get one shot off. That's what it was designed for. We've modified it a little bit to where for close quarters situation, when the person is coming close to you and they're almost ready to grab the gun, instead of doing this trying to shoot, we're going right to this position right away and we're choosing where we're going to shoot. The reason for that is that if he grabs here, how hard is it to control your gun once you get a hold of the barrel? That's the hardest part. Once you get a hold of it, the fight's on. If I shoot this, how many rounds am I going to get off? One. So if that's going to happen and they're that close, I might as well take the initiative and control where I shoot and how I shoot. We actually do tie pad drills from this position to where you'll actually have your gun in your hand and you'll actually work strikes from here. So it adds a level of weapon retention and striking and hitting. Did we bring any tie pads? Okay. So as we're in here, you notice that what's the person going to grab onto as I'm right here? There's not a lot to grab, especially here. Where's the barrel pointed? Right towards him. So again, we're taking it to where this is a close firearm situation. If we're here, we can shoot just about any way we want. But for the person closing the distance and we want to choose when we shoot, this is what we've been playing with. So on the range, we'll have the deputies will come up, and the first time they do it, it kind of freaks them out, so we really make sure that they grab, make sure their fingers are not in front of the muzzle. And the idea is when you grab it, you're forcing the slide forward, like this. So it really freaks everyone out the first time they do it. It's like, some people will assist, they'll put their thumb, you don't need to do that. You could actually go like this and fire it, it wouldn't do anything. Okay? So, you've seen people that injure themselves, it's usually something behind there that's like this. It's not flush against it, or it's not tight, and it comes back and it snags them. These will actually kick more than a standard Glock, right? So it's a good demonstration, right? So you'll come up, and what I want you to do is we're going to fire. So you're basically in here, the person's getting close. As you come back, you're covering with your elbow above, and when you shoot, we know only one round's going to go off. I'm either jamming, hitting, striking, but the person's probably going to be grabbing onto me. And as he's grabbing, I've already shot him. I'm letting the bullet work, but he's still holding on. I'm using the elbow to clear his hands or head. I cycle and I'm right back in, but to a different position, either here or low, but I'm using this elbow to hit, to strike, because if he's trying to grab here, what's protecting the outside? Not a lot as far as hitting or striking. So depending on where he's grabbing is how you're going to strike him. But there's not a lot to grab on to take the gun out from here. I mean, what's there to grab onto? And to try to move the barrel away from him, right? See how where my hips are at? It's very difficult to keep him. And as long as I'm shooting and cycling, now on cycling, you got to be real careful. If you ride the slide, you're going to stovepipe it. You can't ride it. You got to make it a clean all the way through and back on and come back in. Because if I do this, what happens? It is not going to work. This freaks out most of our firearms instructors. Okay, it was taught at an advanced tactical state class actually is where I learned it from. So we're just modifying it to where there's been a couple officers that have come through and they said if we had this in the situation that I was in before, we would have shot the guy because we could have shot him. I mean, I could have got in there and found where I wanted it, got it up and pulled the trigger. Questions? I can see inquisitive minds already going, is it going to hurt? No, not until your partner gets in front of you. Just kidding. All right, so what we're going to do is we have 4 Glocks. You're going to come up. The instructor is going to check your position on your hands. That means when you grab, again, I want you to go from just your regular shooting position to where you're covering and grabbing in here. Okay? Notice that my knuckles are right here, and I still have room to index. The most powerful hit that we've got from this with the tie pads is just a straight, like a bench press, and it knocks you off. Even if you're holding like this, it'll push you off your feet. So it's just like a quick bam, like to the throat, and there's still not a lot to grab. So even there, here, you still have good elbows, and a lot of times if the person's grabbing here, when you pull in to clear the gun, you end up hitting them in the face. Because as soon as you pull them forward, you see where he'll bend forward if he holds on, and that's where your elbow's coming. So you actually come across and bang, you'll hit him there. You're in the clearing process, then you're driving back in. So we're going to have you try it so when we go on with the red guns, you have confidence in the technique with the gun cycling. Because then you can see if you make a mistake in your stovepipe, because you're riding it and it jams, you have to clear it again after it. So, we got 4 Glocks.
No, the cardboard up here.
We're going to put the,
Yeah, this up, the cardboard up there.
right here. Oh yeah, it's right here. Okay, we're going to set this up sideways. We're going to use this as our direction.
The cardboard's right down there next to the bin.
Yeah, I'll get some. I'll have it set right here. Got them?
Not take them out.
Okay, so basically the weapon will be hot. Keep them pointed down range. Again, if I'm grabbing, I'm doing it left-handed just so you can see it. Left-handed, can you see a problem already if you're lefty? Once you shoot and you roll out this way to cycle, what's the problem? For the lefties, we're recommending keeping it straight as you do it so it ejects out this way, right? Because it's very hard to do it this way. All right, so as I grab on here, I'm grabbing, okay? Again, I'm very, very close. I'm gonna pull the trigger, okay? That's how much. This is what actually went farther than a Glock would go. That's as far as it goes. So, as I roll out, I'll do it this side so you can kind of see it. As I roll out here, I'm cycling all the way through, and I'm grabbing before I come forward again. Then I'm ready to shoot again. If I'm so close that I do this wrong, and I push the gun against there, it still may go off now. See, I was pushing the gun relatively hard. It still went off. That shows you right there that it's not necessarily true that if you push, that'll go out of battery. All right? Unfortunately, I still cut that. Stand by. There we go. All right, so what we're going to have you do is come up. Yeah, I didn't want to stovepipe that. We're going to have you just shoot, let's say 5 rounds. But we want you to go into the rhythm of, as you're shooting, again, I'm here, I've already shot the person. But now he's coming on top of the gun, so I'm going just to protect the gun. I will shoot, boom. You're going to elbow through, cycle, and come right back and shoot again. What's the one danger you want to watch out for right here? Okay, for me, I can't get my elbow down probably low enough to shoot it. But if you're real flexible, right? And again, you want to pull the slide forward this way, so that if I have to press it into him, right now I can't even pull the slide back. That means it's going to be in battery and I can pull the trigger. Okay. Remember we were talking about the okay, this is clear. Okay, Chris, come up here. Okay, this weapon's clear, nothing in here. Okay, put your hand on it as you normally would demonstrate and pull the trigger, and see it won't go. But you see where I'm pressing it against? Here, I'm pressing it like this, and it's out of battery. Okay, now I want you to take the gun, okay, push it in. Okay, he didn't push it that hard, and guess what? It went off. Okay, now cycle it again. Okay, go ahead and face them. Okay, so he's pushing it pretty hard right now to get it to go out of battery. Okay, stick the gun on me and do the same thing. Okay, he's pushing it pretty hard. You see what happened? Okay, jamming it pretty hard. It's like rock abs too. I can't even believe that. But again, if he goes to a hard area, if he's really pushing hard on my arm, guess what? It's that same thing like your hand. Now, the key is if you're in a struggle and let's say I push it and it's not working, it's out of battery, I just have to let the gun come off and it will shoot, right? I don't have to reset the trigger if it's like this, right? All I have to do is let the slide go forward and it will shoot. So you don't have to cycle if you end up pushing it too hard. Okay, so we're gonna come up 4 at a time. We're gonna stay in line, and I want you to actually almost pick a spot on there where you're gonna shoot. And the instructor's gonna be beside you before you pull the trigger. All right, because I want to see how you clear and such. Okay, Rob, come on up. Okay, Chad, come on up. Okay, you got a magazine? Okay, step up. Here, yeah, don't get mixed up with that one. Okay, go ahead and make it hard. Okay, I'll take control of him, bring another person up right here. Okay, go ahead and grab first. Okay. If you have the gi over the barrel of the gun, it may work out badly for you. Okay, so you got a good tight grip here?
Just lock
Okay,
it forward.
pick a point on there, pull the trigger. Okay, good.
Yeah, just
Now,
like that.
roll, elbow over, strike, cycle all the way, grab before you come back, go back.
Okay, clear it.
Okay, now, you see where you're pushing back here though? You need to really pull that forward. Okay, then shoot.
Ooh, you have rainbow color.
Good. Okay, cycle all the way through, grab. Shoot. Good, cycle. Grab. Shoot. There's some mags over here. Make sure that we have all the mags loaded up. Before. Okay, good. And, okay. Good. Next, bring it up. Again, you have to have confidence in the technique, or with your real weapon, you'd be hesitant to use it. Okay. Good grab there. Good grip here. Okay. Okay, grab. Pick a spot on there. Elbows up. Protecting yourself right there.
There you go.
Okay, go ahead. Good. Roll the gun sideways. Pull in with the elbow. Cycle.
Cycle.
Good. Come back to the grab.
Yep.
We do the call. Point your elbow towards the target to protect. There. Shoot again. Good. Cycle again. Good. Grab. Okay, cycle. Get back on target. Get back on target. Now again, you can, once you get good at this, you get back on target real quick. It's just bang, and you're back on. This is real slow and deliberate. Okay, shoot. Okay, cycle. And one more. And cycle. You can cry if you want to if it hurts. Yeah. Okay. All right, he's good. He's okay. He's okay. All right.
Just pull the slide forward that way with this hand. Don't make sure you got that.
Check the grasp first. Go bring it up.
Good.
Okay, 3 fingers. This one off of the trigger guard. So right all the way up there. Okay, feel where you got your grip and your hands back a little bit farther.
I got this.
Okay, so got your grip here. That looks good. This looks good. Now I want you to point your elbow toward the target like you're keeping it. See, you just did how you locked it in tight there. Okay, now pull the trigger. Good. Okay, roll it sideways. Like this. Let this hand come here. Cycle. Going through. Grab.
Want me to load?
Come back with the elbow leading. Okay. Shoot. Okay, cycle. You can see there's kind of a rhythm to it. Do it. Yeah. Oh, double kick. Let's do it. Roll it sideways. Yeah, let's do that one. A lot of light. Grab. Now lead into it. Turn it sideways. Turn your body away. Side up. Just make sure you guys come back here. Grab your clear all the way back. Okay. Yeah. Short cycle it. Okay. Cycle again. Keep it. all the way up. But don't ride it. You gotta let it go all the way back, or else it's gonna jam again, just like that.
Tell me that I can do my hand. So I'm getting put as a.
Snaps it all the way back.
That day on.
Just be everybody's face as you go.
With your, my direction.
Nice.
Pushing this hand forward.
Yeah, you just yeah,
There you go, back on.
so slide it. There you go. There you go.
Smooth all the way through. There, back on. Good.
Walk it back.
Lead with your elbow, keep pushing away. Okay, streamline up, pull the trigger. Okay, now, as you cycle, it's like your elbow in me here. You're gonna pull that baby sideways right along your body, right back and grab it and come back. You're back on target. Shoot, cycle, back on.
You do it. Grab here.
Okay. Anyone else?
Just pull from
This can actually be even lower. You gotta keep it away like this. Okay, pull the trigger.
yours. Let me run to the side so I can watch.
Roll this sideways as you turn your body. Go sideways, cycle all the way through.
Oh, so grab the black guy and make sure that you basically this hand just
Magazine up.
rolling it. Hold on to that thing so that you cycle it all. There you go.
Now, make sure that thumb's around, that's important. Because when they grab, they strip the gun out, see where that's opening. Cycle. Bang, grab on. Elbow towards him like you're pushing me away. There, just like
Yeah, I
that.
got a double feet going. Lock slide back.
Cycle, bam, right back on.
Drop the magazine.
Bam, cycle. Back on. Reach that thumb around.
Yeah, the magazine back in. You're ready to rock.
Yeah, cycle. Safety issues, as far as sometimes when you sweep, you can put your safety back on. So that would be an issue, depending on what type, like Smith & Wesson. Once you sweep it, the safety's back on, so now you have to take the safety off. But if you're training and you're nervous the first time you do it with your duty weapon, just put a pair of gloves on. That seems to take a little bit of the sting out of it.
Hey Don, do you have any suggestions with the tack lights on? Or have you tried it with that?
Yeah, I have almost I have the
JHK.
M3. M3, it's tougher. With the tack light, you can see the problem already as far as the position. What's the problem? It's a big grip, right?
Those are your small hands.
Yeah. So with this, you can still do it, but you can see it's not as sturdy a grip as I'm grabbing here. Not as sturdy a grip. Cycle still works the same, but the this is actually even bigger than mine. So to grab it, you can see if I grab it this way, I have a better chance of doing it than if I try to grab it this way. That baby's going to just zip right through my hand. Although I found some officers that can actually shoot it loose-handed and it will cycle, but I wouldn't want to depend on that. Right? I'd want to make sure that I'm dictating when it's going to fire and when it's not going to. But it's one that, again, the person is very, very close. Right? I mean, we're talking like we're already this distance and we're like against a wall, and I've already gone to my combat position and I feel his hand coming around trying to snatch at the gun. Now you start to do this. We see this when they're trying to keep the gun away. If you feel that you're bringing it back and you're already in that mode, how do I get this hand to the gun? And I leave the gun where it's at though. I don't try to bring it back up because he's going to get a hold of it. So I hit and then I grab and bring the gun in. So I'm clearing everything from here if I'm back here, especially if he's leaning trying to get it, where I'm going to actually just smack and hit, shoot, cycle, hit. Again, wherever you're at, you'll feel that this, you got to bet that. This position right here is very strong, and if you hit him in the throat, again, even if he's trying to grab the gun, right, I can clear. You see what it starts to open a lot of things, like me shooting him for one, but it starts to clear, you know, even if he's here and we're fighting, see where the gun can still shoot, it can still hit. Now I'm shooting, now I'm clearing, now he's grabbing for the gun, and you're just throwing elbows, and you're shooting. So it's a pretty good day. But
And if he closes all the way in on you, then we're going straight to where we were before with our iron ring.
Yeah.
So the whole right here just drops right into that more secure position right there.
so yeah, it's a good flow. but it's one that I think in a real close corner where it's, let's say you had your gun taken away, now you've got it back, it may be a consideration to re-grab it to where they can't get it out of your hands again. Okay, questions? Everything in the box?
There's 3 guns in a box. I didn't see the 4th box. Did we not open it?
There's
Oh,
4
Gary-
boxes.
Gary-
It's something that we're showing everyone, our deputies, and I know sooner or later we're going to end up shooting one using this technique. But it's for that real close, this distance. I feel I have more security over my weapon than I've already tried this, and now either the person is moving me around. I would like to put a round exactly where I want to put it and control kind of that person grabbing it.
And that same technique works for the taser.
And you know the real bad
Actually, it can. The only danger is from here forward. And I learned the hard way that if your hands are too close to the 2 connections, you'll get a zap out of it. With the regular taser, it's pretty bulky too. It just has a laser just like this. You can use it. You just have to make sure you have your hands around it. But if you got your hands far enough back, it would be a perfect one just to sit here, because every time they tried to grab near the taser, it would be like, ow, ow. So you can really direct it like where you want it and let the taser do the work. But it is a little bit bulky. The X26 would be real easy to do this. In fact, the handle's only that big on the new taser, so it's like you're grabbing it like that. So I would say I would have a secondary hand near there, because it's like, there goes my taser. So, something to think about. Let's go ahead and head back in, and we're going to do the same thing with the red guns on the mat. So sometimes you're going to have to push in and then rotate over. Same thing's true here. Remember, I'm shooting, right? Boom, making the gun work. I may push, and then as I elbow over, I'm going to try to pull his head down to where I can get a shot on it, sorry.
That's okay.
Elbow, and then I'm going to come right back with the elbow, either in the head or solar plexus. Works real well in here to clear. If his hands are in front, that's even better. Why? If he's trying to grab onto the barrel lower, I want to shoot through his hands if I can. Try to disable the hands. If you've shot here, consider going maybe what, to the hip or right up to the head, right? And even in here, works pretty good.
Close your eyes.
Close your eyes. Yeah, body fluids. I want you to go at 25%. 25%. Because I know a lot of people in this group, they go 125%. Good Lord, that's a lot of percentages. Okay? Because yeah, this one you can get whacked. So what we're going to do is we're just going to have you, because you're going to find your partner's going to work around the positions that we haven't talked about, to where they may be actually grabbing you from behind. That's fine. We want you to get to those positions and start to work through them. When you throw your elbows, throw them carefully, all right? Because we've had a couple people just perfect temple shots, you know, and if you're going to get hit there and go down, I want to make sure you're on video. So just do it gently. We're just trying 25% using our hips, clearing. Make sure you go through the cycling motion.
Okay, I'll just do this. I'll just play here.
All right. Okay, grab a partner. Spread out to where you have some room off the wall.
I get elbow for that.
Yeah, well, I'll get an elbow into it. That might be a going shot. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, see, that's not no
Wow.
25% right there.
Right, actually went 25%. So.
Make sure. There you go. Good. Don't fight it, though. Don't fight it. Keep it close.
Kind of got clear on the
Bang! Night, night!
As he starts pointing it back in towards him,
You okay?
I just put the gun over and shoot all the way through there. So wherever it's at, you can't start pointing towards him. Step in. Now, he's pulling towards him. Let him have it.
Make sure you use the elbow to keep him out. The elbow is the distractor.
This way you rotate this.
Yeah.
Michael. Oh.
Throw the right elbow this time.
Hey, Chris, once he's behind you, don't worry, let him stay where he's at.
It was just angled out a little bit like that.
No, I always do too.
Step out.
Like you're going, like you're stepping behind him.
What about going like that? You can do that too, except now he might be able to grab the gun.
Yeah, just the barrel. The barrel is where you really want to. You can see that if you give up the gun, you let him get the barrel, you got a real wrestling match on. Grab your gun, come over, we're going to hit on the bags for a second. We have different types of hanging bags, but what we're going to do is just have you break it into little groups around the bag. And now you can open up a little bit and hit the bags. But I want you to feel that when you have the other grip, it really starts to elevate your levels of elbows, because it's almost like a nice, even, you're holding it together, and as I pull with this arm, it pulls this elbow through the target. So even if I'm in here, right, or I'm hitting, it's like I'm really pulling this back to hit, so it really hits hard. And also remember the push. The nice thing about these, it makes your hands kind of like on brass knuckles when you're hitting, because you have a hard surface behind it. So as you're hitting, it's just like bang. But think your target area, nose, throat, or even the chest as you're hitting. But notice I can still duck behind and hit, even if the person's trying to hit. Right? So leading elbows, back elbows, chopping. Just sit a little bit on the bag and you start to feel, but just don't do just the regular elbows. You really want to pull with the other hand as you come through. It keeps the gun in front, because the person is probably most likely going to be holding on to the center, which actually pulls them in, bang, when you hit them. All right, so give me about 4 on each bag.
No, that's a soft build, and that's our hard. Not all.
Secondary, but if he's got two of you here, he's pulling more into it, it should be very strong. That's what he comes out,
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Thank you.
now they're introduced to it here.
Try straight in. Just like that.
Focus that's right.
Remember, gun's still pointed at the gun pointed at the head. Into the person, that lead elbow, you can catch him from the shoulder solar plexus all the way up to the chin, and it's a real heavy hit because remember, you've just turned this way, and now as you come in, it's a real, it's just like, you know, stabbing someone with a sword. It's real powerful. You hit right in. Yeah. So you're moving your body and you lead right in, and then it leads into others, and obviously you're still shooting. Okay.
Pick Brad.
Oh, pick Brad. Hey, pick Brad.
Hi, Brad.
Look at me. Oh. Yeah.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
You're over there like.
This move's called the escape from mount, and I like this one because I'm smaller. I weigh more than Brad, but I'm smaller than him.
More of a man.